Paul Thompson,
Yes.
you are born in Hertfordshire,
Yes.
in England,
Yeah.
and you are the Associate Professor of Film and Television at the Tisch School of the Arts at NYU in New York City.
This is true, although I'm recently retired from that position so I can do my own, go back to my own creative work.
And before that, you were head of film and television at the Australian School of Film, Television and Radio in Sydney.
That is true. I was there for actually 10 years, 6 years as head of writing, and then 4 years as head of film and television. So it was a great experience. It changed my life going to Australia. It gave me opportunities that I would never have got elsewhere. And it opened the doors, obviously, for New York.
You are one of the top teachers of script writing, of dramatic writing in the world.
Well, that's very nice of you to say so. I mean, I enjoy teaching. There's still great talent there, great wits, perception, creativity. I mean, I think that there's some great work coming out of young people, even if the politics is mired in some kind of confusion. These are amazing times in which we live. It's like a snake eating its tail. It's fantastic.
Is that manifesting then in the scripts, like in the work, the art? Because art reflects society, reflects the people.
There's great television out there. I mean, there really is. I mean, stuff that you're watching like Succession and things like that, which I think are wonderful. And one of our students, Tony McNamara, has created that series called The Great, which is
great, yes,
outrageous. There is outrageous work out there, which is fun and full of life. I love the art form of dramatic writing, whether it's for stage, screen, animation.
Yeah,
I think it is so hard and so challenging. And it's not surprising that most of the work is inconsequential and meaningless and forgettable. But there is that 10% that is just wonderful. And I think that's what one lives for, is there's only a handful of great films, but those great films do really enrich your life.
Yes, and because there's only a couple of shelves of classics, isn't there? Or, you know, in the library that have lasted over 2,000 years. Yeah. And there's a reason for that.
It is so hard to do. It is so hard to do, and so wonderful when you create the importance of being earnest or something.
That's right. It's a classic of wit. In dramatic writing, what must the writer have to be a dramatic writer?
Well, I think all of us pretend we know the answer to this question. This is my pretense, is that I think what you're looking for is the unteachable quality, because you can teach so much to do with craft, to do with structure, to do with text and subtext and creation of character and things like this. What you're looking for is the unique, authentic voice. And I think that is true. It is, when I'm interviewing a writer, talking to a candidate for a place on one of the courses, I think that is what one is looking for, is that unique, authentic voice. Unique in the sense that it is their own, authentic in the sense that it's grounded in some kind of felt experience, and it's a voice that has found it's the means of expression through that voice. When you come across that, it's really refreshing, where you're actually interested in what this person's got to say. What is their take on something? Is it different to everybody else, or is it predictable? Imagination. For me, it's the unteachable quality. Yeah, it's also knocked out of you when you're young.
That's right.
It's and I think one of the things a teacher can do is to help the student, the writer, to rediscover what it is that's unique about them, and really to rediscover their confidence, to actually have the courage, and it does take courage, I think, to express yourself without thinking about, well, what is acceptable, what's not acceptable, what is popular, what is not popular, what's marketable, what is not marketable. The reason why I say that about trying to give people confidence and courage is because that's what people did for me. I mean, when I was working as a writer, predominantly in England, at the Royal Shakespeare Company, at the National Theatre, National Youth Theatre, BBC, I was really lucky to work with directors, and one in particular, who was really good at looking at my work and going, oh, I don't like this is a load of rubbish, you know. And then now this scene is good. Now this scene is good. something on which we can build. And he was very honest, and he would tell me when passages were just rubbish and mess and meaningless and whatever, but he would also tell me what was good. That's what we worked on. And I just thought, yeah, that is so helpful, because it is easy, I think, if you're a director, to destroy an actor. It is easy if you are a literary manager to hurt a writer. I think what your job is the opposite of that. It's to try and find what is good in their work and build on it.
You've been in New York at NYU for 23 years now. How has New York influenced you in your teaching and in your observation of life?
It's been a pleasure to work there, and it's been a fabulous experience living in this apartment in Greenwich Village. I mean, it's a really privileged experience. But New York has been, for most of that time, a source of revitalization, of energy. I've loved the aggression. I've loved the kind of... I'm somebody who, being English, I always tell people I wake up in the morning angry, and I'm angry all day long. And I love it. The weird thing for me when I was in Australia, I wasn't angry. I found myself liking the place. Tension and aggravation in New York, I think, is really healthy. And the general wit of people, I think, is super. Of course, the other obvious things about New York, theatre. There's a fabulous amount of theatre here, good, bad, indifferent. I've had some really great experiences. Art galleries, museums, cafes, bars, just the general buzz of the streets. These things are all the cliches that everybody says about New York. They are true. But I do think that art has the ability to transcend in a way that we need. When you find your tribe, try to find your tribe. People who you respect, who excite you. Once you find that, you've found a lot. It's going to help you enormously.
Thank you, Paul Thompson, and thank you for having been my teacher. It was the luckiest thing in my life.